Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. It keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Hello, and welcome to GSMC Music Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Cynthia, and
I always forget to say brought to you by.
What?
I forgot to say that for the other podcast.
The movie?
Yeah.
And that's our host, Keith. That's the host, Keith. They were like, who is that talking? They're like, who is that?
Oh, they've listened to us before.
Maybe not. This could potentially be their very first episode. So in that case, welcome. If you are a new listener, you have been missing out.
We're so excited to have you.
You've been missing out since November, since we've been recording together. So catch up on those previous episodes.
November?
It's November, yeah.
Oh,
I know. Happy 3 months of recording. Right? 3? Am I can't, or 2?
Wait, November, December, January. Was it the first week of November that we started?
Somewhere around there. It was
Okay.
Right there.
Cool.
So what'd you do this weekend? You said you were out of town.
I went to Mendocino.
Where is that?
What?
Mendocino.
It's like the most beautiful part of the entire California coast.
Santa Barbara.
Not even close.
No, okay.
They're like 12 hours from each other.
My geography is not.
Mendocino is kind of like the Santa Barbara of Northern California.
I do not know where Mendocino is.
Actually, Mendocino is more like the San Luis Obispo of Northern California because it's just far enough outside of a metropolitan area that it's kind of like remote. Mendocino is about 4.5 hours north of Sacramento, up on the California coastline.
I don't go anything like more north than Sacramento.
That's unfortunate because you're really missing out. Mendocino is gorgeous.
I believe you.
It's like my favorite part of California.
Really?
Yes. It's beautiful.
I don't know where my favorite. There's a lot of like nice places in California, so it's kind of hard for me to like pinpoint.
It's it's the place I can go that is the most abandoned / remote, but also still technologically sound, and like I don't have to fear for my life from like getting attacked by someone who doesn't want me on their property or a bear.
Oh, or a bear.
But they do have bears.
Oh.
There was a warning for a bear on one of the trails that I hiked.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I would have walked back, hopped into my car, and left.
Yeah. No, my girlfriend was pretty scared. We went up there for her birthday weekend. So
there you go.
It was. I'm
gonna have to check that out. I said Santa Barbara. Literally the totally opposite.
No. Yeah, when we're on a commercial break, I will Google it. So that
do you know why some Santa Barbara is? Because in Santa Barbara, there's a city or a little town right next to it called Mendocino. Or not Mendocino, Montecito.
Montecito.
So I got those confused. And that place is gorgeous. Gorgeous as well.
I'm sure. I'm sure it is. It's a great excuse.
But
what did you do this weekend, Cynthia?
Well, I was at the LA Fit Expo. So for those of you who don't know, they just pretty much bring like, it showcases different fitness products, fitness equipment. There's a lot of like fitness influencers. Of course, it's LA. There's different booths and people just walk around. You can take pictures with like your favorite fitness influencer. You can try new products.
People have favorite fitness influencers?
Oh, yeah. That's all what LA Fit Expo is. My favorite person, I worked with her at the expo.
Aww.
She's the girl that you saw on my wallpaper on my phone. You're like, is that you? That's me and her.
She and I.
I. So,
okay.
So yeah, that's especially the LA one.
How do I become a fitness influencer?
I don't know. You just have to like post a lot, I guess. So,
should I post my workouts?
Yeah, post your workouts, some diet tips, nutrition tips.
I'm going to get really ripped, strong hands.
You have to get reposted as well.
Reposted.
Yeah, that's the key.
Need to get repoed?
You need to get
So I need to not make car payments for a while. Dad joke.
Oh my God.
Number
Here we go.
one. Oh,
but I mentioned the LA Fit Expo because LA Fit Expo, it took place at the LA Convention Center, which is literally across the street right next to the Staples Center. And I was there over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And for those of you, I'm pretty sure the whole world is already aware of the tragic news that on Sunday morning, Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, along with 7 other passengers, passed away in that horrific helicopter crash. And I found out about that news while I was working the expo. I noticed many people, more than usual or more than normal, were wearing his jersey. And again, I didn't have my phone, so
did that happen on Saturday?
Sunday.
Wait, so he passed on
Sunday morning, and I was
before everyone got to the expo, which is why they all started wearing his jersey.
And so and then that's when I found out of his passing. And again, I'm at the convention center. Staples Center is right next to me. The Grammys is taking place right next to me. Okay. So the expo ends. I walk out and it is madness. One, because of all the fitness people coming out of the convention center.
Right. And you're all crazy and hopped up on pre-workout.
Oh my God. Yeah. 2, the Grammys is happening. I saw Diddy. Okay, I saw P. Diddy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Diddy Kong from the video game, and I was like,
no,
you must have had some weird pre-workout.
No, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, because really all they do.
Wait, those are the same person?
Yes, it's the same person.
No.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe you.
Literally,
P. Diddy and Puff Daddy are 2 separate people.
They're the same people. He has like
don't
2 different.
You. Okay, whatever.
So the only thing they do there is really put up a fence. But you could see all the celebrities pulling up in their limos, tinted windows.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I was walking is because they were holding Kobe Bryant's memorial service right outside Staples Center, which I went to, and it was really sad. Everybody was like in a somber mood. It was just, I was mixed with a lot of emotions because 1, I was like off pre-workout and supplements. 2, the Grammys was taking place.
I know.
3, so it was like a lot going on in downtown LA, and it was crazy for me to really experience that. And it was a lot happening. And so that is obviously what we are talking about today. The Grammys 2020, the 62nd annual Grammy Award show happened Sunday, the same day as Kobe Bryant's passing, which is so unfortunate and so unexpected.
Yeah.
And it definitely was like a dark cloud hovering over the Grammy Awards show because, I mean, it took place in Kobe's home and, his second home. He really built Staples Center. That's where many fans saw him and, admired him and loved him. So it was just really crazy, honestly. I couldn't believe that was there. And
something else about the Grammys that a lot of people don't know. The Academy that decides the Grammys is currently embroiled in a pretty big scandal themselves. The person who's in charge, I don't know their title exactly, is currently I don't know if they're suspended or if they've chosen to take a leave of absence, but there's allegations of misconduct on her part. There's allegations of prejudice and all sorts of other things that are kind of going around right now. So a lot of people were not only upset and very shaken by, or as you would say, very shook by the tragic news of Kobe's passing, which our condolences to his family. Obviously, it's never easy to lose a loved one, especially not easy to lose a loved one and another loved one.
Right.
Very tragic. But not only do you have that, but you have this scandal that's happening behind the scenes. I think last year people were complaining that not enough artists of minorities were getting awards.
Oh yeah, I'm actually going to talk about that with one of the awards that was given to Tyler the Creator. He mentioned, because he won, I forget, I'll mention it in the next segment.
Yeah.
But he actually talks about that in his acceptance speech.
Yeah,
how
I remember seeing that.
They just categorize all African American artists as urban.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's like, that's just another word to call us the N-word. And he actually says this in his, I don't know if it's acceptance speech. It might have been backstage when he was like talking to everybody else, but I saw that video and I was like, I mean, he's speaking the truth because.
Yeah, when I saw that there was an urban music category, it was like, are you kidding me?
Right, urban.
That's still a thing? Mm-hmm. That is not a thing.
So he does bring that up.
There's no urban music genre. How stupid is that they have that listed as an award?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so no, you're absolutely right, and he definitely sheds light on that. And they have been for a very long time under criticism because of, they say the Grammys is racist, it's predominantly white, and I mean, again,
the Academy doesn't have accurate representation of the industry, which I would say that they definitely don't, but most academies don't.
Right.
So, and then I think another one of the allegations was that it was just like a publicity stunt. The whole thing's just a publicity stunt for different people. And you can almost like bribe your way into getting an award.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Money makes the world go round, which is crazy to me because I feel also, and I've mentioned this in other episodes when we talk about award shows, I don't think that award shows really should validate an artist as like successful or that you've made it, because I know there are plenty of amazing musically talented artists who have never received a Grammy award, who are 10 times better than some of these nominees or winners. So I feel like these award shows shouldn't really validate one's success.
No, and it's kind of interesting, like when you look at the Oscars, this is the first year I've ever seen really popular movies being nominated. Like 1917, popular movie that a lot of people are familiar with, also nominated for an Oscar. Like the only movie that's on that list that wasn't really popular this year was Parasite.
Yeah, the foreign film.
Yeah, the foreign film, and which is crazy to me because every other year in the past, like I think, was it last year or maybe the year before, there was like The Phantom Thread and The Shape of Water, and it's like those movies are like, they're good, of course, but they're not the popular movies that everybody's watching. So it's just crazy to me that like when you watch the Grammys, it's the people who are already experiencing success and who are already popular are the ones garnering this critical acclaim. And I just think it's really interesting, the juxtaposition between like, it feels like the Oscars are actually interested in the art of acting, and the Grammys are interested in like just being an unapologetic fuel for
and
the
I feel it's also
industry.
just like a popularity contest. This is why Beyonce doesn't even show up to the Grammys anymore. She gets nominated every year and she doesn't even attend the Grammys.
She doesn't attend?
She doesn't even go anymore.
Oh my gosh, I might actually like her for
no,
that.
she's like,
no,
she's
don't do this to me.
She's so successful that she's like past award
she's
shows.
Successful.
She's just like, I don't even care. I've done my thing.
If it was because she was rebellious, then I would appreciate it. But
no,
if it's
but
just
I think
because she's like, I'm so great, I don't need to go, then like, that's not going to make me. That doesn't endear me to her.
Well, you're
I still
wrong.
think
We're
Beyonce's
not
overrated.
Whatever. Anyways, we're gonna cut into our first break, and when we come back, we're gonna share with you guys some of our favorite moments from this year's Grammys.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Are you gonna bring us in? I'm like,
Hello and welcome back to the GSMC Music Podcast. I always wait after commercial breaks. Just like every time I do I'm the one who brings us back in. I always wait to see how long I can wait until you
well,
notice.
I just want to make sure that you're awake. Like,
Yep.
you're coming in,
Yep. No,
I want to make sure you don't forget, and there's just like an awkward pause, and the listeners are like,
No, one of these days we're gonna play like reintroduction chicken, where like I'm just gonna sit there and wait until.
I don't think they like that. Like a whole minute just goes by and there's like no voice.
Well, now they'll know because they're in on the joke.
All right. Okay. You guys are in it. So there's like an awkward pause.
Yeah. So there's an awkward pause. It's because of me. And I'm just trying to make my co-host a little nervous.
I'm just like want to make sure we're on the same page. We both know.
No, I absolutely know that I'm supposed to be bringing us back in for the break. So before the break, Cynthia said that we were going to talk about our favorite moments from the Grammys.
Yes.
So what were your favorite moments?
I had a few. I definitely had a few. For one, the most important to me is that I mean, this is kind of an obvious one, but I loved how they definitely honored and paid tribute to Kobe Bryant. They illuminated his jerseys all night long, numbers 8 and 24. And Alicia Keys and many other performers gave like, you know, not just to make it sad. It was definitely a somber mood in there. Like every time the camera panned to the audience members, people were literally like crying in there. Like no one was in the mood to be in the Grammys, especially being in the house, you know, that he built, Staples Center. Yeah. So it was definitely, I can't even imagine how they must have felt because I was like outside of it. So them physically being inside and like none of them really are in that celebratory mood, but still, I mean, they still had those celebratory vibes for celebrating, what was I going to say? Celebrating Kobe Bryant and, you know, all his achievements. So I did like that they always mentioned him and paid tribute to him throughout the program. For instance, the very first opener performer of the night was Lizzo. Of course, she's like the it girl right now.
She is. She's pretty talented too. She definitely doesn't feel like a flavor of the month artist. Like I think that she's got some longevity to her.
Oh,
which is
absolutely.
Cool.
And Lizzo. So this is my very first time ever watching her perform live, and I am a fan now.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of her music per se, but I'm a fan of how she conveys herself on stage. So
she definitely portrays herself very well.
Right. She has amazing stage presence. So she opened the show with the performance for her 2 songs titled 'Cause I Love You and Truth Hurts. And
those are her 2 big ones, right?
Yeah, her 2 big ones. And she started, she came first out wearing like a very long black sequin, like sparkly gown, I should say. It was like a gown, huge. Yeah. And she says, before she starts singing, "Tonight is for you, Kobe." And of course, everybody's like cheering. And then she started, what really like amazed me was, so she sings, she has amazing vocal range, and then the lights shut off, and then these glow in the dark ballerinas come.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And while the lights shut off, it's obviously because she's doing an outfit change.
Yeah.
But it was probably only like a 20-second little intermission there where the ballerinas were like dancing.
Yeah.
And then she pops up wearing a completely different outfit, like this sparkly jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how in the world did she change that fast?
So was the jumpsuit also black?
No, it was like pink. It was different colors, like pink.
Okay, so here's my
neon.
guess. The dress was attached to the jumpsuit, but the sequins were, you know how like they make those pillows where you slide it up and it changes color? My guess is that those sequins were like that. And so she didn't have to like actually change the full jumpsuit.
They weren't really sequins though. I would call them actual jewels. A sequins probably was, they look like jewels, not really.
Never mind.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
That would be a good idea.
It would be.
Ariana Grande, get on that. That'd be cool.
I know, right?
Show.
All these like make some fashion statements.
Yeah.
So anyways, just her outfit change amazed me, like her doing it that quick.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really liked about her performance and my favorite part, so we know she plays the flute.
She's a flautist.
So all of a sudden, this was like so random, I actually laughed. She was there like in the middle of her singing Truth Hurts.
Yeah.
Literally out of nowhere, a flute comes flying from the ceiling, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing in the videos I've watched of her performing. Like the flute comes from nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah. And then she starts playing it and she's like super good at playing the flute. Yeah. And in the middle of her playing, she stops and she yells, "Period." So do you know where that's from?
No.
So City Girls, it's kind of, have you heard of Hot Girl Summer, Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this like rap duo girls named City Girls. Very popular. They're kind of the same vibe as Megan Thee Stallion, which you've said you're kind of low key a fan of Megan Thee Stallion. If you like Megan Thee Stallion, you'll like City Girls. We may need to talk about them in future episodes. But anyways.
Wait. Is it girls with a URLZ?
No, it's like just regular girls.
Okay, then I don't like it.
City Girls, oh my God. But they're this like Miami rap duo. But
is it City with an S? Come on, like give me something creative.
No, it's just that. City Girls.
City, so CITY space GIRLS.
Yes, City Girls.
Girls, your name is boring.
Stop.
Yeah, it's boring.
They don't always need to be funky. But
it should be cool.
But
anyway.
No, but the whole thing is their whole thing is like period, and that whole meaning it's being
so she's like paying homage
right to them, but it's like it's just so random because she's here playing the flute and then she like screams into the microphone period,
yeah,
and everybody in the audience like starts like laughing because they obviously know like what she's referencing to,
right? And
it's like a whole social media trend as well, like a lot of girls saying like period. It's like an attitude, almost like when you're proving a point or like when you're in the middle of an argument,
yeah,
and you like prove your point. Period is kind of that ending statement.
Oh, so
like,
was she like, why men gotta be great until they gotta be great, period?
Well, she was playing the flute, right.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't really singing, but
so she was making a point with her flute.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like
I believe
I'm
that
here,
flute's
kind
argument.
of. She's all about making her presence known, right? And like she really embraces like her body size, which I love. And it's kind of like, I love that she's always like in your face. Like, I'm here. I'm at the Grammys. I'm opening the show.
Yeah.
So,
she's got a nice level of aggression to her.
No. So I'm definitely a fan. Like after watching her perform, like she has amazing vocal range, stage presence. She's instrumentally talented. So I'm like, how are people hating on her? Like I'm a fan. I became a fan after watching her performance.
Yeah.
And another like really memorable moment for me, again, it ties into Kobe Bryant's passing. And I've been like really, for some reason, his passing, I've never been attached to a celebrity's death or a person who I'd never met in my life, but he's the first person where I like really feel affected, and I actually shed a couple tears because he was just like an amazing man on and off the court. And so Alicia Keys and Bad Boys 2 Men, they also right after
Wait, is
Lizzo,
it Bad Boys to Men or just Boys to Men?
Bad Boys 2 Men.
So it's not the 90s group Boys to Men.
No, it's a different one.
Oh, okay.
They're different. I know who you're talking about.
Weird.
I know it confused me too.
Yeah. Okay, good to know.
So they also opened right after Lizzo. They performed right after Lizzo, and it was like the most precious and thoughtful way they tributed their song to Kobe Bryant. And in this instance, this is when like a lot of the audience members started crying. Like everyone was like shedding tears just because of like the lyrics were on point, their synchronization was on point, and it literally brought tears to everybody. And Alicia Keys, she's a really well-spoken host. Yeah. And right before she sung, she like gave this little spiel about Kobe Bryant. Like she just got everybody in their feels. She has that like, you've heard Alicia Keys talk before, right?
She's great. Yeah.
She's very
love
like
Keys.
calming, the way she speaks. I don't know. Like,
and everybody uses her No One song as a meme.
No one. I know. I can't go that high.
No,
they're probably like, "Oh, volume down right now."
No, don't turn the volume down. This is the part. This music podcast is now Cynthia and I performing.
I know. This is us like how we would be singing in the shower, but like singing in the podcast room. This is us right now. So those were a couple of my favorite moments. And then I have a couple more. And I need you, as I speak about this, I need you to Google it because I need you to like.
No, I know Billy Porter's outfit. He's the one with the hat with the curtain.
Okay,
it's great.
Perfect.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I need you. Okay, so another favorite iconic moment, which there's been so many memes that popped out from this, is the pre-show when Billy Porter pulled up. And it's more specifically his hat, but he came in, that's more like sequiny, glittery. Yeah. He wore like a sequiny, glittery, blazer.
Like bright blue, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like a teal. Yeah.
With the hat. And it was literally a motorized curtain. So like when people started to take pictures, the curtain would open and there he is with his makeup done, like staring into the camera, smizing, pulling a Tyra Banks on us. And then when they would stop taking photos, it would close. Yeah. So it was so funny because
it's so great.
Twitter, this is why Twitter is so great because
I know
people made so many funny memes from that outfit.
Great memes.
So the curtains would be closed and people put, when you're mad at your boyfriend, but he asks you if he wants to get food and like the curtain opens and like things like that are so relatable. So, and also Billy Porter, like he could pull it off. I feel like no one else could do that. If Lil Nas X pulled up wearing that,
I don't even want to. Lil Nas X
I get
shouldn't
you,
have
that's
even been
triggered.
invited to this
You
show.
get triggered.
He is not a musician. Oh,
You get
goodness.
triggered by Lil Nas X.
He is a representation of everything that I hate about the music industry.
Well,
Absolutely.
we're gonna get-
I despise him as much as I despise DJ Khaled. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot of.
That's
it's
a lot of hate in there.
Despisement. So we're gonna take a quick break before we talk about your last favorite moment,
And then we'll get into some of the
we'll get into
winners.
some of the winners. So we will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello and welcome back to the GSMC
Wow.
Music Podcast.
Wow. Did you guys see? He totally cut me off. I was about to come in with a very pleasant greeting. I was going to let you guys hang. And like, that's so inconsistent of you. In the first break, you left an awkward pause. And on this break, you right away jumped the gun. Hello, welcome. I was like about to say it.
It's just funny because I'm just messing with you. It's
I know.
great.
It's fine. I forgive you.
We're having a good time.
We are.
Yeah. Which is,
But
yeah.
I want to share with them my very last final favorite moment of the
Okay.
Grammys.
Go ahead.
Because we have a lot to talk about the winners.
Mm-hmm.
We both are going to have a lot to say about the winners, especially when it comes to Lil Nas X, which you already briefly.
Please stop. That name is.
It's a trigger. It's a trigger point for you.
I am triggered.
But the final favorite moment of the night was Ariana Grande's massive dress. And when I mean massive, it's literally huge.
Yeah, she's like pictured leaning on it. It's pretty adorable.
Yeah. I mean, she was definitely the center of attention for this dress. I feel like it was like 10 feet out, like wide everywhere. And it definitely gave me like Cinderella, Disney princess vibes.
I mean, the color's pretty awful.
It is. It's an
like
ugly
an
color.
ugly gray.
It's not necessarily that it's an ugly dress. It's just the color.
Yeah, the color's not very good.
Yeah, it's not. But I feel also celebrities have that like pass where they can wear anything and it's like hashtag fashion, you know?
Hashtag fashion.
Yeah, but I just thought it was really cute because the behind the scenes of her, like with the paparazzi, or I don't know, they're not called paparazzi, but the people they're taking pictures.
Yeah, the journalists.
Yeah, there's like a moment where they do a picture and she's like, wait, I want to see. Like, she's the sweetest. She's honestly the sweetest person. And she's like, wait, that's kind of ugly. Wait, no, I look kind of pretty. And like the fact that she's so humble that she asked the journalist, she's like, what's your name? And we'll just go, his name's Terry. He's like, Terry. She's like, oh, my name's Ariana. Nice to meet you. It's like, girl, the whole world knows. The whole world knows who you are. But I just love that she's so humble and sweet and like still
or at least
kinda,
she portrays herself as being that way is nice.
Okay,
yeah.
but I feel like she really is. Like, I think, why would she portray to like be fake nice in that way?
People do that all
They're
the time.
not really celebrities. What celebrity have you came across where they go out of their way to be like, what's your name?
All of the people who are like convicted felons but try to pretend like they're family
Ariana
people.
is not a convicted felon.
No, but like a lot of the artists that you and a lot of people would say that they like are people who have been almost convicted felons. I don't want to get into that right now though. But I'm just saying people act a certain way so that they can get certain things out of you, and the music industry is not exempt from that. Ariana, if you're listening to this, Like, I think you're awesome, and I'm sure that you're super nice. But like,
I'm like, the Ariana fans are gonna come after you. Ariana fans are gonna come
Ariana
after you.
fans, the Beyonce fans, the Lil Nas X
You're just
fans.
a hater.
I am not a hater.
Hater. But no, that's my final moment. I just loved her dress. I love the backstage moments. So I think there were a lot
seems like she has a good sense of humor for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I want to get into now the winners, some of the winners, because I didn't
obviously not all of
realize
them.
there were
so many
over
categories.
84
Yeah.
categories. I was like, holy moly. They have a category for everything.
Yep.
Jazz, funk, rock, gospel, everything.
Urban, which is not a category.
Right.
Well, we don't even need to get into that.
Exactly. So I want to start off with Billie Eilish. She won the main 4 categories of the Grammys, which is
awesome.
Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. But she took home a total of 5 Grammy wins. The 5th one is, let me find it. I think it's for Best Pop Vocal Album, which is for her album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? So she actually made history at the Grammys.
Yeah.
She dethroned Taylor Swift as the youngest Album of the Year winner at the Grammys.
Wait, she dethroned T Swift?
Yes, she dethroned, because I think Taylor Swift was 19 for winning in that specific category for Album of the Year, and Billie Eilish just recently turned 18. And
Congratulations.
Right, another amazing thing she was definitely the biggest winner of the night. So 5 Grammy wins, 4 out of those 5 are from the major categories, the main categories of the night, and no one since Christopher Cross in 1991 has swept all 4 major categories. So again, those are Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Best New Artist, and Song of the Year. So that's,
name a song by Christopher Cross.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So clearly he's not that popular, because I can name lots of other songs from, what year did you say it was?
1981.
Yeah, I'm sure I could name several songs from 1981 that I'm familiar with. Never heard of
Christopher Cross. Me neither.
Let's hope Billie Eilish does not go the same way.
No.
Yeah.
Right. But that's an amazing one for her to accomplish that much. I think this is her first Grammy appearance at 18.
It would have to be.
Yeah. At 18 years old, and to like sweep everything, all 4 major categories, take home 5. So huge congrats to Billie Eilish. I'm not I'm not the biggest fan of like her music, but I do like her voice. She can definitely sing well.
Yeah.
I think just like the sad girl vibes, I'm not really into.
Well, it's not necessarily, I don't even think of it as sad girl vibes. I think that like Billie Eilish appeals to young people because she kind of denies the gender role of sad girl, because like I know just as many young men as I do young women who really like her music. And like I personally am a fan of Billie Eilish just because of the way that she accurately portrays the mindset of the youth movement right now is really awesome.
No, she's like definitely like every interview I've seen of Billie Eilish, it's not that I don't like her. I definitely like her. I think it's just like the music. Her music wouldn't be the first thing I add to my playlist. But
of course, yeah.
I do like her as a person as far as what I've seen so far. And again, I think she's very mature for her age, 18. And so I like her mindset. I like where she's going. And she definitely.
I love that her hair looks like a front lawn.
It does. Her
so
roots are like
green.
lime green.
Yeah. Good for her.
I think she has a very, how you said with Lizzo, she's just getting started. Yeah. She's just getting started. And speaking of Lizzo, she won Best Pop Solo Performance for her song Truth Hurts. I'm not surprised. This one's going to get your skin crawling. This one. So Best Pop Duo Group Performance.
It was not a pop duo. It was not a group performance.
Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus for their song Old Town Road, the remix.
Wait. Hold up. Is Old Town Road remix the name of the song, or is it a remix of the song Old Town Road?
I'm not sure, because I've seen it both ways, where it's like the remix is part of the song, but I've also seen it where it's just Old Town Road, and it's so I've seen both ways. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh my god!
But it is a remake.
The song is trash. It's barely even a song.
I don't know why kids love it.
I don't know why anybody loves it. It's garbage.
I know.
It is literal garbage. Like, they may as well have just taken like a little statue of Oscar from Sesame Street and been like, here you guys go. Thank you for contributing absolutely nothing to the music landscape except for trash.
Oh.
Like, seriously, This song is the one that is going to play in 20 years that every parent will skip because it's such garbage.
Oh, I still skip. I still skip.
I hate it so much. I hate that this is even in pop culture. I can't.
I know. It's actually terrible because they even play that song in clubs, like in hip hop clubs, because I've definitely been in the club where they'll play it at the end of the night and everybody leaves. Like literally people start leaving. You're turning pale. You're turning pale, you guys.
I am so upset. I am furious. Like I haven't been this mad in a long time. I am mad. I cannot believe that. And like the fact that Lil Nas X was even nominated in any other category is disgusting to me.
They also won Best Music Video. So they didn't just take home one.
I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't care about the Grammys anymore. I'm leaving. All right. Bye, everybody.
I think they've been canceled for a minute. I think a lot of people
the Grammys
have
are
canceled.
Yes, they are.
All right. Let's move on to another award because I don't want your blood pressure to start going up.
Best Alternative Music Album, Vampire Weekend, Father of the Bride. I haven't listened to it yet. Love Vampire Weekend.
I
Super
included
excited
it
that they're
because
back.
I knew. See?
Yes. Thank you.
There we
That
go.
is definitely. Oh, and it's like right after the
So
Lil
you
Nas X
agree with
baloney.
that?
Yeah. Well, I haven't listened to the record, so I don't know yet. But I've heard really good things. And Vampire Weekend, they're like from my heyday in high school. Mm-hmm. Everybody loved them. Like everybody knows the song Oxford Comma, and like Contra was a really popular record, I think, if I'm remembering the name correctly. So it's really good. And it's not like the most amazing thing to ever happen to music, but it's definitely cool, and it's nice that they're back because they were kind of out of the scene for a little while.
Mm-hmm. No, their name rings a bell for sure. So,
oh wait, you haven't listened to any Vampire Weekend?
But I've heard of them. I've heard of them. I've heard good things as well. So
yeah, they're like a summer band. Like if you're taking a summer road trip,
we're gonna have to talk about them for like an alternative like picks of the week. Then that
eventually,
needs to be yeah. All right, and then Best R&B Performance. I think you'll like this as well.
I do, yeah. Anderson .Paak featuring Andre 3000, Come Home. I love Anderson .Paak. He's pretty great. So, and Andre 3000, he's cool too.
Yeah, he also won Best R&B Album for his album Ventura. I haven't listened to it yet. So he took home a couple of Grammy
It was a pretty good
wins.
record, yeah.
And then for Best R&B Song, this one surprised me a little bit, again, because Grammys, it's more like a popularity contest, we feel. And this was awarded to PJ Morton for the song Say So, which I've never heard of in my life. And Chris Brown's No Guidance, I thought that song was going to win.
Yeah.
Because it was a summer anthem when it came out last year featuring Drake. It was played on the radio station. It still plays on the radio station.
I haven't heard it
so many times. Oh my God. It plays everywhere. It plays in every club. It's very, very mainstream. So I was very surprised that Chris Brown didn't take home this win. And usually when Chris Brown gets nominated, he wins most of the awards.
Yeah.
So I definitely was surprised because PJ Morton, like, I've never heard of him. Have you?
No, I have not heard of him.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
So but I want to move on to Best Rap Performance. And this one was really touching because as hopefully do you know Nipsey Hussle?
Didn't he just pass?
He passed last year. So that's why it was like a really impactful night in Staples Center because it was two LA legends who did a lot for their community who passed away. I mean, at a relatively young age, 41, and then he was in his 30s. And within a year, they both passed. So this was Nipsey's first win of the night for his song Racks in the Middle featuring Roddy Ricch and Hit Boy. And DJ Khaled too. DJ Khaled, Nipsey Hussle, and John Legend also won for Best Rap Song Performance for their song Higher.
Yeah.
And which is nice, you know, that Nipsey took home these two wins.
Yeah.
Not just because he passed, but because these are great records. And I know how you feel about DJ Khaled. We won't get into him, but I do want to get into the performance that DJ Khaled and John Legend did. They performed their song Higher, and at the very end of the song, they paid tribute to Nipsey Hussle and Kobe Bryant. They placed both of their pictures in like the very large,
the projector screen.
the projectors, and it was just like so touching and sad. I mean, the passing of Kobe Bryant literally happened like hours prior. Yeah. So it was definitely like, I don't even know how to describe the mood or how they must have felt, but They definitely felt his presence.
About the Grammys, it was like mired in mourning is what they described the atmosphere as being. So it definitely, there's a lot of people there who were very impacted by a lot of the people who had passed in this last year. And they passed unexpectedly, like you said, because they were not really at that age where we're thinking like, oh, well, this is the tail end of them being around.
Right. And when we think of like these like legends, how we say our icons, we always think like, you know, they're going to live on forever, which they are.
They will in
they're
some
like,
capacity.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just they both were unexpected deaths, and both in tragic ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that article that you read. And I'm going to just quickly get through these last couple of winners, and then we're going to share with you guys the hit single of the week. So for Best Rap Album, this was awarded to Tyler, the Creator, for his album Igor, or Igor. How would you say that?
I don't know. Igor or Igor. It just depends on the day.
Right. And this is where he talked about where he's like, my music isn't really even...
Yeah.
He's like, it's no genre. So like the fact that you categorize me as urban... That's how he's also he talked about that.
Well, for any musician to say I have no genre, like yes, you do. That's like every music has a genre. Even if that's just an arbitrary categorization. Don't complain about it. If you don't like it, don't make music. But I get his point about the urban thing because I totally agree. Like
there shouldn't even be an
urban music is just ridiculous. It's not. I don't know if it ever even was a category that deserved merit. It doesn't describe anything about the music. It's not like it's urban sounds or like anything. It's just like a geographic area that's completely arbitrary that has nothing to do with the music, like alternative or metal music or like those are all colloquialisms that we've decided as a culture actually mean something. Urban is just it's just a really bad choice in my opinion. And I just can't believe that in 2020 we're still using that word to refer to that kind of music. It's just ridiculous.
Right. I know. And he mentions that. He sheds light on that. And it was funny because like the reporters and journalists had nothing to say. They're just, they were quiet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can't say anything because like they're not the artist. They're beholden to their bosses who are beholden to the people who invite them to this thing in the first place. So if anyone causes a stink as a reporter, there's a chance they don't get invited back next year, which really hurts their company because then they can't be on the up and up and be there for these popular events. So it's just a really lame system. But anyway.
And then for the final award that I will be announcing here is for Best Music Film, of course, awarded to the Queen Bee, Beyonce, for her documentary Homecoming.
Who was there to accept the award for her?
I don't know. I actually didn't see it. Probably like her assistant.
Yeah.
Because she literally was not there.
And her assistant brought her own bottle of champagne.
Right. I know, right? But yeah, I'm not surprised. Homecoming is a great film, really shows a different side of Beyonce, her work ethic, all the hard work she put into creating and, you know, the visualization of her Coachella performance. So I really appreciate her a lot more after watching that Homecoming film. And let's now talk about the hit single of the week, which is by Hayley Williams, titled Simmer. I was about to say Summer. Simmer.
It's close. It's only one letter off.
My 8th grade band t-shirt face is coming out right now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she was the lead vocalist for Paramore.
Yep.
She sounds exactly the same.
She does. You know what's really funny about Paramore? Paramore is like, it's like a Taylor Swift / Carly Rae Jepsen prepackaged pop band.
Really?
Masquerading as an alternative rock band. Because Hayley Williams was contacted by a record label and basically they said like, hey, we like your singing. We want to give you a bunch of songs and give you a band. And then you're going to come on and make the music that we want you to make. And then we're going to sell it for lots of money. And so she was like kind of like a prepackaged Disney pop star that was just given this band. I think maybe she has like some brothers or something in it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know a ton about Paramore. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. It was like a prepackaged band that was made in advance, which is fine because it was still good music and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, no, I remember definitely going into Hot Topic, buying a Paramore shirt. Yeah, that was a great time in my life. Little careless Cynthia there, carefree.
I actually kind of like this track.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was going to say, nice. I was like, I like the instrumentals in the background. It's like,
the instrumentation's pretty good.
I really liked it. And the song was produced and co-written by Paramore's guitarist, Taylor York. Mm-hmm. And this is her first single, and it shows her and debuts her as a solo artist. Mm-hmm. She's been talking about, I think, for quite some time that she kind of
solo.
Doing solo, which I think that's great for her. Not really like she needs the band. She's been with them for 16 years.
That's a long time.
Very long time. So I think she's more with them for loyalty more than anything.
Well, I'm sure at this point she wants to kind of explore her own musical space, you know, so which is good for her.
And I liked also that the song, it kind of took us through like different emotions. She expressed like anxiety, depression, and bottling your emotions, your anger, and
rage,
controlling it. Yeah. So I liked it. And I think it definitely flows with the instrumentals that were played throughout the track. Yeah. But my favorite part of the song for sure was when she cussed, when she said Tucker out of nowhere, because I was reading, I didn't know this, but while she would record songs for Paramore, she avoided swearing on all the songs for Paramore, which I never caught that. But now, like, if I listened to one song and I was like, oh, right, like she actually doesn't cuss. Yeah. So there's not only this is her debut as a solo artist, but she's like, I'm going to give it my all and
swear.
Good
for her.
She said it like from her chest, like Tucker. I don't remember the verse, but I was like, oh, like I remember like kind of like.
It is kind of jarring,
right?
Because it's kind of like grooving and moving, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, and like
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I appreciate the mood that the song brought. It definitely it feels like it will be listenable for sure. So I think that people will probably enjoy the music that she's going to put out.
No, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
So that about covers it for this week for us.
Grammy talk, hit single of the week, Simmer.
Down with Lil Nas X. Don't ever listen to anything that he puts out ever again, please. We don't need to encourage them.
And R.I.P. Rest in power, Kobe Bryant, because that was just crazy, honestly, experience that being in L.A., being at Staples Center, being at the memorial service, all on the same day. I was literally like, I didn't even know what to do with myself. It was crazy. It really was. And I saw Diddy. Like, it was like, okay, whoa, I saw Diddy, but I was just at a memorial stores. And then, wait, I'm off the pre-workout. So that was like, it was wild. And I had a flight to catch in like 2 hours. So it was like, goodness. It was a lot. But it was definitely a day, a night I will never forget. I know that for sure.
Well, if you guys like the podcast, make sure you subscribe.
You better like it.
Give us some good reviews. Tweet at us. Repost us.
Share.
Yep. All that good stuff. Thank you for joining us to talk about the Grammys and Hayley Williams' new single. We will see you guys next week.
Have a great week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.